Urban Nights Update is next. Coming up, the holiday shopping rush is in full swing.
We'll take you behind the scenes where Thanksgiving dinner means a whole lot more than a good meal.
The shocking poll that reveals what white millennials are really thinking about race.
And a preview of some of the hottest video games scheduled to be released.
Stop.
Okay.
Got a problem.
You guys like just drip it.
Okay.
What?
Oh.
Three, two, one.
Urban Nights Update is next. Coming up, the holiday shopping rush is in full swing.
We'll take you behind the scenes where Thanksgiving dinner means a whole lot more than a good meal.
The shocking poll that reveals what white millennials are really thinking about race.
And a preview of some of the hottest video games scheduled to be released. All that and more next on Urban Nights Update.
Hi there, thanks for joining us here at Urban Nights Update. I'm Alex Fernandez and Jaslyn Brewster is sitting in with me. Here's what we're working on. Possibilities are you plan on doing Cyber Monday shopping if you haven't already. Sales are expected to haul in $3.81 billion. That mark is up from last year's $3.45 billion in sales. And that isn't including the Cyber Monday deals that started this weekend. Those billions will make retailers happy, but state and local taxing authorities not so much. That's because many of those dollar bills will escape sales tax.
The early bird gets the worm. Department stores made record-breaking sales this Thanksgiving weekend. Starting on Thanksgiving Day, loads of shoppers were seen outside of department stores like JCPenney, which was already experiencing high volumes of shoppers when they opened their doors at 2 p.m. on Thanksgiving Day. Kohl's said it sold around 40% more orders than last Black Friday, and Macy's is on its way to selling over 1 million jackets and sweaters. Global Data's figures have concluded that Black Friday revenue is the highest it's been since 2011. This is the best time of the year for shopaholics. These shopping addictions overpower the traditional festivities and some people. Isaac Bauer has the story.
Wow, that's his first play.
Family, food, and football. You can't get a more complete Thanksgiving than that. Or can you? While the thought of coming together and enjoying a nice meal sounds wonderful to most, there are some people who get just as much enjoyment knowing Black Friday shopping is right around the corner. For avid shopaholic Sophia Gomez, Black Friday is all the rage.
I really do enjoy Thanksgiving, but I get more excited for Black Friday shopping. I haven't missed a Black Friday in 6 years.
Shoppers like Sophia have built up Black Friday to what it is today. According to the National Retail Federation, Black Friday spending has steadily increased since the recession of 2008. This year, it's been estimated to increase 4% since last year's Black Friday, reaching around $656 billion. But this comes with a price. Stealing, fighting, and even trampling have become all too common, making it difficult for store employees. However, Hot Topic employee Milton Davey is more excited than worried.
Any job can be stressful. I don't really think it's going to be really hectic. I mean, you're going to have a lot of people that want shirts for like $10. Dude, it's, it might get a little crazy, but I'm ready.
The day of seemed to prove Milton wrong, starting with the roads. I'm just a few minutes away from Westfield Mall in South Seattle, and traffic is horrendous. It's backed up all the way to the freeway, and it's basically bumper-to-bumper traffic. After finally finding a parking spot, Westfield Mall proved it was the place to be for Seattle shoppers. However, it wasn't what our shopaholic Sophia Gomez had hoped for.
I left empty-handed today. The deals weren't as good as I expected them to be, but I'm hoping Cyber Monday will have some better deals.
Cyber Monday is perfect for those who want to avoid the craziness of Black Friday, giving people the chance to shop in the comfort of their own homes. In Seattle, I'm Isaac Bauer with your Urban Nights update.
Typically, when you think of Black Friday shopping, you think of electronics and clothes, but now you can add firearms to the list. Data collected by USA Today shows that gun background checks hit a new record on Black Friday with more than 200,000 requests. In reality, it is very possible that more weapons were purchased than requested because a single background check covers the sale of multiple weapons in one transaction. On the biggest shopping day of the year, Macy's credit card payment system went down and caused a disaster at locations nationwide. And in their online shopping, for Macy's, this glitch in the system came at the worst possible time. Customers experienced hours of delays and some were unable to even complete purchases. Macy's claims the problem stemmed from a capacity-related issue and has been fixed.
CEO and founder of Amazon Jeff Bezos' net worth rose to $100.3 billion after Black Friday sales. In 2017 alone, Bezos made nearly $33 billion. He is now the richest man in the world, topping Bill Gates, owner of Microsoft. Bezos took to social media, asking for suggestions and requests for what organizations he will share and donate his profits to. As Amazon continues to grow, so will Bezos' paycheck.
With the holiday season here, those limited friendly prices from your favorite stores will be first come, first serve. We asked people what items bought this holiday shopping weekend and if they got a good deal.
I bought clothes as gifts for my family from Macy's, and everything was like 40% off.
The best deal I got was I bought a couple of pairs of shoes from Foot Locker. I think I got like 3 pairs of shoes, and then the first one was full price, but then the other 2 were both 50% off.
I saw that there were like 25%, 30% off deals. In this case, it was 25%, so I thought maybe more than what I was, expecting at the beginning.
I got an Xbox for Black Friday, and it was a lot. It was over half off, and I got to get a new game too. So I was like, thank God, man, thank God. And then for Cyber Monday, I got some clothes that were half off too, some OVO, shout out Drake.
For some people, Thanksgiving is more about giving than it is about feasting and shopping. Brett Beauvais has the story.
For many of us, Thanksgiving is a comfortable holiday where we stuff ourselves with food and drink while watching football, then fall asleep on the couch from too much turkey. But Thanksgiving means something else for a group of more than 1,200 volunteers in one church in Las Vegas. 2017 is the 10th year that Calvary Chapel has sponsored Bless Fest, an all-day Thanksgiving event where some 3,000 of Las Vegas's most needy families and individuals are provided a variety of services. One guest, Liz Bash, took advantage of many of these services.
I get a lot of blessings out of it, and without that kind of help around, I wouldn't know where I would be at. It makes the women feel beautiful when they can get makeovers done, and they can't afford to do it, and you get really nice clothes.
Here at Bless Fest, a classic Thanksgiving meal is just the beginning. The church offers a variety of services, everything from a makeover and a haircut to legal advice and medical aid.
Basically the health, because I was having lower back pain, so that helped. It started up this morning and it comes and goes, so that helped out a lot. So that made me feel a little bit more at ease and relaxed, because when you have pain going on, you're all tensed up and everything.
One even gets a sense after talking and watching the volunteers that they may be getting more than they're giving.
But the Lord delivers them from them all.
So the greatest blessing I have today is to be able to come here and serve. It's not getting served, it's serving. This is a time of year where many people the holidays are here and they're thinking of, no family, bad situations, divorce, but the Lord delivers people from all of this.
Maybe Bless Fest is a reminder of the truth, that it is better to give than to receive. In Las Vegas, I'm Brett Beauvais with your Urban Nights Update.
The fight over tax reform is reaching a fever pitch. Republican Senate Leader Mitch McConnell is hard at work to secure the votes needed to pass the bill. The tax bill, which could be voted on as early as the end of the week, is currently hanging in the balance as Republican leaders are doubtful they have support to overhaul state and federal taxes. Multiple pockets of Republicans on the Senate floor remain unconvinced it will actually help Americans and small businesses. Opponents feel that it is only looking out for the big corporations and leaves the common man in the dust.
A different kind of shadow down in the nation's capital. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is now a political battlefield after I can't freaking see that. And Mike have been both selected. Landria English and Mike Mulvaney have been both selected to lead the Bureau. Deputy Director English was selected by former Director Richard Cordray after he'd resigned Friday. However, Cordray had no idea that President Trump had nominated his own successor. The Bureau was created during the Obama administration to protect consumers from questionable bank and financial institution policies. Trump has surprisingly nominated Mulvaney for the post after he recently made comments saying the CFPB is, quote, a joke and a waste of time. English argues she's entitled to her position under the Dodd-Frank law and has since filed a lawsuit against Mulvaney.
Though Trump has apologized months ago for the 2005 Access Hollywood recording of his crude comments about women, he is now challenging the authenticity of the video of his encounter with TV host Billy Bush. Back in 2016, when recordings were released, Trump apologized on live TV, seeming to be owning up to his actions. But with recent sexual assault allegations against Roy Moore, Trump, according to a recent New York Times report, suggested to a senator earlier this year that it was not authentic, and repeated the claim to another advisor more recently. Speaking of owning up to one's actions, though he denies all claims, Congressman John Conyers has announced that he will be stepping down from his leadership position on the House Judiciary Committee. The Democrat made the announcement Sunday because of the House Ethics investigation of him after allegations of sexual misconduct. Colleague Al Franken from Minnesota also announced that he would not be resigning his congressional seat, even after apologizing and admitting to inappropriate sexual behavior.
In a surprising survey, nearly half of white millennials say they feel discrimination. International Business Times interviewed 1,800 millennials from all 50 states, and nearly half said they face similar discrimination as minorities. 71% of African Americans, 77% of Asian Americans, and 72% of Latinx participants strongly disagreed with the claim. 70 to 80% of minorities considered the Confederate flag to be racist. Only 43% of white millennials agreed with that claim. I went to the Napa Valley College to get a taste on how fellow millennials felt about race. International Business Times released a poll stating that nearly half of white American millennials think they face similar discrimination to minorities. I connect with peers like Omar Esparza to see how he and others feel about the poll.
Well, honestly, I don't feel like I should agree with that post, because I honestly think if you were wanting to get the job, honestly, you would go out and get it, just, succeed. So I honestly don't agree with that. I just feel like people are just not being, not lazy, but they should just go out and, just get their job or whatever they feel like they're taking away from them.
In Napa, at the local JC, where the diversity is strong, students like Scott Erickson disagree with the International Business Times survey.
All right, well, first of all, I find that claim just to be a little bit ridiculous. Just looking at, the history of racial oppression in this country, always been targeted towards people of color. Beyond that, when you look at the job market, it's much easier statistically for white people to get a job. Furthermore, look at the disproportionate rates of incarceration of people of color versus white people for essentially the same crimes, and it's pretty mind-blowing when you look at those numbers. I think that should be more concerning, quite frankly, than white people feeling as if they are the oppressed ones.
I was looking for insight from someone who hasn't been in the States their whole life. Aaron Riley has more.
I would like to see the demographics behind the poll, where it was taken, just because after having moved from Russia to California about 3 years ago, I don't really see any factual evidence to back up this claim. In the news, you don't really see white millennials being shot at by police or being followed around in shopping malls. And as far as the job market goes, I think it's about as equal as it gets.
In Napa, I'm Alex Fernandez for your Urban Nights update.
With the subject of race on so many people's minds lately, a new exhibit at the Oakland Museum is becoming quite a conversation starter. Brianna Keys has a story.
The Oakland Museum of California is a museum of today, having exhibits that reflect the people that come inside. The most newest addition is the Question Bridge. This exhibit gives you the opportunity to see intimate videos woven together to arrange face-to-face conversations between Black men of all ages. Each question is answered with honesty and vulnerability in a way that we haven't seen before.
Being a black male and watching these experiences of other black men and having so many intersections of similarities, I think I just always just pause because I'm not used to seeing that, first of all, you know, especially in a way presented like this. But after that settled in, it felt really comforting. It felt like community. It felt like grief, it felt like joy, it felt like all of those things kind of in one.
Why didn't God leave us the blueprint? Peace. I suppose some of us, myself included, feel like we did leave a blueprint. If you had experienced the euphoria that we felt during the 60s, when we would see one another on the corner, and there wasn't no such thing as you had to throw up some kind of gang sign. When you saw other black people, you went like this, they went like that, everything was fine. That's not the way it is now.
Experience of seeing, of hearing people talk about their own identities, but then also in conjunction with, you know, there was a part about a young kid asking questions of like, what does it mean to be a man, you know? And then other people answering to the little kid is a beautiful moment that I'm sure will stick with me, you know, just sort of like, what are the markers? Maybe I'll start seeing, you know, in which ways people see themselves as, I don't know, a man or a woman or you know, whatever the identity is of what's expected from you in society.
Participants were allowed to leave comments in a booklet on how they felt and what they thought of. Seeing someone else's identity can bring our community closer together. In Oakland, I'm Brianna Keys, and this is your Urban Nights Update.
Question Bridge Black Males runs through February 25th.
The battle for net neutrality heated up Mondays as tech giants Twitter and Reddit voiced their disapproval for the FCC. The tech companies used Cyber Monday to pen a public letter to the FCC denouncing the decision to vote on repealing net neutrality on December 12th. The concerned companies that wrote the letter highlight the dangers that could result from this decision and are calling for the internet to remain a free and open marketplace. The future is now. Robots are now taking over. Just kidding, not yet. The future with robot is definitely here, and hopefully for the good. At last, a humanoid robot from Boston Dynamic is out here doing box jumps, 180 jump twists, and backflips. With the world being structured around humans, it could be the time for humanoids to take the spot of a human in dangerous situations. Taj Dawson is up next with news of the hottest video games out to be released.
As we head towards the end of the year with Cyber Monday going on, we have a few games that should be on every gamer's radar. From VR to highly anticipated sequels, I'm here with your video game insider. We will look at Fallout 4, Far Cry 5, and God of War 4.
Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. Make him the cutest that I've ever seen. Give him two lips like roses and clover. Then tell him that his lonesome nights are over.
Of Fault 111, you enter a world destroyed by nuclear war. Every second is a fight for survival, and every choice is yours. Time to hit the wasteland of Fallout 4, but this time with a twist. Now you can really put yourself in the game with the help of VR. The game has been completely redesigned to work with your VR headset. Fallout 4 is set to be available on Steam at the end of the year, on December 2nd, coming out at $59.99. Because the game is only available digitally, you'll have to purchase your own VR headset separately, and it can be purchased at $200. Far Cry 5 is shaping up to be one of the biggest titles of 2018. Set to release the 27th of February 2018, the open world franchise is now taking place in the United States as you face a new dangerous enemy. You can choose to take them head on alone with the help of a K9 companion, or create chaos in the cooperative multiplayer. The sandbox first-person shooter is the 5th of the main series, and it finally sets you in the US after previous games took place in Micronesia, Africa, unmarked islands in the Pacific, and even the Himalayas, until Far Cry 5 sets you in the US state of Montana. Far Cry 5 is available on PS4, Xbox One, and PC early 2018.
These realms don't take kindly to outsiders, trust me. When they find you, and they will, they'll make things difficult.
Wait here. I will handle this. To be effective in combat, a warrior must not feel for his enemy. Close your heart to their desperation. Close your heart to their suffering.
But not everyone is bad. Mother always said to be open to those who can help.
Wow, that was something, that fight.
The PS4 exclusive God of War franchise will release its 4th sequel to the intense /action adventure and will be available to purchase early 2018.
Thanks, Taj. With a number of families going out to see movies in theaters, dropping DVD sales plummeting, everyone is heading in a new direction to find their entertainment. Luke Lacey has a story. Cody can...
With the number of streaming apps constantly growing, consumers are having a hard time keeping up. From Netflix to HBO to Hulu to Amazon Prime Video, there's countless streaming competitors, and no longer is it enough to pay for just one membership. Now, people are starting to buy Amazon Fire Sticks like this one, just so that they can download Kodi onto it and have access to all streaming platforms and torrents of new movies. The Kodi app provides easy access to streaming content, including movies, shows, and music. It also offers a way to store and watch that content easily in the comfort of your own home. It works on every major operating system, and best of all, it's completely free. Kodi users like Chris Ocampo choose Kodi over other streaming platforms because of its access to newly released movies and shows.
Nice of you to join us.
Well, I use Kodi because I feel like the possibilities are endless. You can watch basketball games, you can watch things that aren't even out in the DVD yet, things that are on Netflix or Hulu. You don't even need Netflix or Hulu anymore, I feel like. Movies that are still in theaters I can watch on my couch with my dog, and that's quite enjoyable.
The problem with Kodi's growing popularity is that it's allowing a form of online piracy and adding to an already existing problem. Piracy costs the U.S. economy around $200 billion per year according to the Stop Online Piracy Act, and it's hurting people in the film industry, like Tyler Honigsfeld.
Personally, my issue with it would be, as a producer and an actor, we work really hard at our crafts, trying to put together something amazing for the audience to see and to latch onto. And to be honest, for someone to get it for free and not have to pay for that and do it kind of like under the table like that, it just kind of leaves a bitter taste in my mouth.
In San Francisco, for Urban Nights Update, I'm Luke Lacey.
Cody can now be found in over 10% of North American households, making it more than just a fad. Let's check out some of the new movie releases that hit theaters this weekend, including a new family hit from Disney Pixar. Also, fans speculate that beloved Miley Cyrus is expecting a baby. Let's go to Taylor Lehman to get the details.
Hello and welcome to this week's entertainment segment. Let's take a look at what's trending after this year's Thanksgiving holiday. Disney's Pixar new movie Coco was a big success this weekend after opening in stores. Friday, the box office reported the movie made about $71 million opening weekend alone in the US and Canada. The movie features a young boy named Michael who dreams of becoming a great musician. He finds himself in the land of the dead, where he goes on a journey to find more about his family history. Disney's heartwarming film won highest ranked in the box office this holiday weekend, as well as ranking 4th highest Thanksgiving show ever. Yet another success for Pixar's films. It was competition in theaters as the movie Justice League fell slightly behind, making about $60 million. The superhero collaboration based off DC Comics received 41% in Rotten Tomatoes. The movie features a major team-up from all the well-known superheroes such as Batman and Wonder Woman. Follow along as they battle a new dark force together.
Divided, we are not enough.
In lighter news, Miley Cyrus responded to pregnancy allegations. Miley went to Instagram to celebrate post-Turkey Day and her 25th birthday. While showing off her food baby from all the holiday eating, fans went crazy assuming the pop singer-songwriter was showing off what appeared to be a baby bump. Miley responded, "Rude, I'm not pregnant, just eating a lot of tofu turkey." Celebrating her birthday, Miley also tweeted that hubby Liam Hemsworth bought her a gold pendant with multicolored gems spelling out her name. Wishing Miley a wonderful birthday and you all a great week. That wraps up this week's entertainment. Back to the studio.
Thanks, Taylor. You don't just go straight to skin if you're a tattoo artist. Many start off on paper with a pencil or a brush. Marciano Reichel has a story in San Jose.
Before using ink on skin, many tattoo artists start with painting and drawing first on paper with a brush or pencil. And for tattoo artist Benny O'Hara, it started at a young age.
As a teenager, it was mostly kind of stupid stuff that I was drawing, like bubbly letters and pop leaves and mostly like graffiti stuff.
While Benny would spend hours in a room just to draw one drawing, he likes the tattoo shop feeling better.
And so I like that with tattooing, it's like you're making art, but you're doing it in kind of this barbershop sort of environment where you're interacting with people, and it's partially art, and it's also kind of detective work. Like you're collaborating with people and trying to figure out what would be important or meaningful to them.
Or for Adrian Gotti, he makes his real living off tattoos, but he still feels like he has a good sense of style.
It was very Americana, traditional, very modern, neo-traditional. So, I mean, that's my bread and butter. That's what makes a living for me. I really love it. It comes to me naturally. So even when I do paintings like this that are a little more, not necessarily tattoo art, there's still that flair, that touch of that tattoo element in it. So so everything I do is nowadays is pretty traditional. As a classic tattoo.
You can find Benny and Adrian at Death Before Dishonor in San Jose, or contact them on their Instagram account. In San Jose, I'm Marciano Reichel for this Urban Nights Update.
In case you're interested, those drawings range from $200 to $300.
With only 4 eligible returning players from last year's Urban Knights men's basketball team and 7 new members, this year's squad will have a brand new look. Headlining the 2017-2018 season, Go Knights! Kendall Brown has details.
Uchenna Okaneme is one of only 2 seniors on this year's Urban Knights men's basketball team. He is looking to take on a leadership role and be one of the pillars of turning this program around.
As a senior on the team, I feel like this team has a lot more height. We're a bit young, but I feel like we have a little bit more talent. We have a lot of people coming from different areas. Definitely looking forward to it. Been here for 4 years. Seen a lot of people, seen a lot of talent. I feel like we can bring together this team with my leadership. My goal for this year's team is to make the conference tournament. Haven't made it since I've been here. I think we can do it this year.
Coming off a 7-19 record last season, the Urban Knights look to improve on their record and make the Pac-West Conference Tournament for the first time in school's history.
So far, it's been great. I mean, it's a new team, it's a new school, so we're meeting a lot of new players. It's been different. We have some international players, guys from coming over different parts of the country. So it's been very interesting to meet everyone, working with Coach Barnes, being at the academy. With this team, I hope it's a high-powered offense as well as a good defense. We brought in some new guys, guys who can shoot the ball, guys who can really score, and that paired with the guys we already have, I think hopefully we're putting up 80 points a game. Our defense last year was one of the better defenses in the country, so hopefully we can keep that up. We only have 2 seniors, but most of the guys we have on this team have played college basketball for quite a while. I'd say the most important advice I could give would be to my upperclassmen, my seniors. You've been a part of how it's been here in the past, and if you want things to change, it has to start with you.
In San Francisco, Kendall Brown with your Urban Knights update.
Now for the latest on how the basketball team is currently doing, let's join Isaac Bauer with more on sports.
Hello, and welcome to this week's Urban Knights Sports Update. It was a slow but exciting week in sports for the Knights during the holiday week, with just men's and women's basketball in action. The Academy of Art men's basketball team traveled down to Riverside last week to compete in their final tournament before conference play, the CBU Thanksgiving Classic. In the first game of the tournament, the Knights went up against a tough St. Mary's squad. The Saints got out to an early lead, going on a 17-0 run to start the game. This was snapped when junior guard Zuri Williams knocked down all 3 free throws after being fouled. In a game where the Saints led by as much as 31, the Knights came within 10 at the end of the game, but ultimately fell 77-67. Notable Knights include Cameron Niven, who recorded his first career double-double with 11 rebounds and 15 points. Another standout, Kendall Brown, matched his career high in points with 22. In their first victory of the season, the second game against Missouri S&T was an offensive barrage from the Knights. In the first half of the game, the team dominated, going on a 17-0 run. 3 different Knights had double-digit points, including forward Nick Conway, who led the team with 14. The Knights will return to Southern California November 30th to take on Azusa Pacific in their first Pac-West Conference games of the year. The women's basketball team traveled across the border for a busy Thanksgiving week. First up was Simon Fraser University at their home gym in British Columbia. In a game where Simon Fraser broke the Great Northwest Atlantic Conference record for three-pointers with 18, the Knights fell 88-49. In the second game of the road trip, the Knights faced St. Martin's. Jaslyn Brewster led the team offense with 16 points, but defense was the story this game. The Knights racked up a season-high 22 steals and forced 27 turnovers. Even so, the dominant defense was not enough to take down the Saints, who won the game 82-61. To finish up the long road trip, the Knights took on Western Washington. In the Knights' best start of the season, Western Washington's long-range success was too much to overcome. Despite the 82-66 loss, it wasn't all bad for the Knights. Helena Orts scored 18 points, which helped to earn her all tournament honors. Academy of Arts women's basketball is back in action for Pac-West play November 30th against Azusa Pacific. That's it for this week in Urban Knights Sports. Back to you.
Thanks, Isaac. And that's a wrap of this edition's Urban Knights Update. For everyone here, thanks for joining us. I'm Jaslyn Brewster.
And I'm Alex Fernandez. See you back next time.